Hello, everyone. It's Stephanie talking about CHD stuff with Alex.
Yeah. Hi.
So today we're talking about anxiety and learning disabilities.
Yes.
So, what would you say when you were diagnosed with learning disability? How old were you?
I was 8 years old.
Okay. And was it a teacher or a doctor or
doctor.
how did you find out? Okay.
It was a doctor, and I had problems with reading and comprehension in public school,
You do, yeah.
and I couldn't function on a large class
Okay.
setting.
Okay.
So, and I'm more of a one-on-one when it comes to learning. So, by the time I was 8, my parents found a special ed school,
Okay.
and they specialize in learning disabilities, everything from ADD, ADHD, bipolar, everything. And so I got placed in that school and started in the 2nd grade. And at that time, I could read, but I couldn't understand what I was reading.
Okay.
And I could not, my focus time, it was non-existent. And any little thing would completely take me off topic or take me off focus of what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So they brought me back to see the psychologist for my ADD, ADHD, and they suggested I take Siler, which is a medication for ADHD.
Okay.
And it was working fine, and you know, I made good grades and always been in a small classroom setting. Average 8 to 10 kids per class.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, really
Wow.
small. It was only 80 students.
I would have done so well in school if
It
that
was-
would. That's amazing.
80 students for the whole school.
Wow. Huh.
Yeah. It
Okay.
was 10 classrooms.
That's cool.
8 kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah, so we had just like all the other schools, we had physical education.
Yeah.
We had an art class. We had
Cool.
mathematics, science, English,
Cool.
history, all that stuff. And we even had field day
Cool.
once a year. And, you know, a lot of people in, how can I say, the community of people that have learning disabilities, the general population don't understand us.
Right.
And all it is that we learn at a different way. Some are visual learners, some are auditory, some are both.
Yeah.
And me, I'm more of a hands-on and visual, because you can tell me something every day, all day, and if it's something I'm not focused on, I'm not going to remember it.
Right.
And,
I know. Yep. I know what you
And
mean.
CHD ties in with it because when I was born, and most CHD patients have mental issues because the lack of oxygen when they are born, and also known as blue baby syndrome.
Yep. And during the surgeries.
And during the surgeries.
We're
So,
like brain dead.
yeah. So, and swelling of the brain from the CHD. So, with that being said, I was diagnosed with a learning disability. Did it stop me? No. No, it still doesn't.
Yeah.
And it caused me to doubt myself at times, and it still does.
Which carries over to the anxiety issue.
Yeah, which creates anxiety. And then
How old were you, do you think, when you could tell that you started having anxiety? Because I know in the 80s and 90s, like, at least from my neck of the woods, like, anxiety and depression and stuff like that, like, those terms weren't used back then.
Yeah.
But at least in my world, like, I don't know. What about you?
My anxiety started probably junior high.
Okay.
11,
and
12 years old.
Were you like diagnosed with it, or
I diagnosed
were you just
myself.
like, okay, yeah.
I pretty much knew. I was
Yeah.
like, because I would look at something and I would know what it is and how to do it. But if they give me a timed
Yes.
time test
Oh
or,
my gosh, yes.
or anything like that, that's when my anxiety goes through the roof. And I would say, you know what, forget it, and write an F on it
That's what I would do. I swear.
and turn it in.
I swear. Oh my gosh.
And turn it in, and the teacher would look at me and go, why?
Yeah.
I said, then why are you giving me 15 minutes to do a test
Yeah.
when it took me 3 hours to study it last night?
Or if they have you do it in the hallway for extra time, there's like 100 people passing you, looking at you, making fun of you, knowing that you're the slow kid outside in the hallway.
Yeah.
Like, so for me, at least, either way, it was like anxiety inducing.
Because when you're in an environment like that, at least it didn't happen to me to that extreme. But because I was my whole school,
You're in a different school, right?
the whole school was special ed kids.
Right.
But when I got into high school, that's when it got harder, because they were they were understanding, but there were certain things that were said that still mess with my head till to this day. Like on my graduation day of high school, my teacher told me I would amount to nothing.
Yeah.
Because of, I would call it maybe the lack of drive to learn something, because I would give up easily, and that's what comes with ADD and ADHD. Mm-hmm. So you think, oh, I can't focus on this. It's going to take this X amount of time to do this. Are they going to give me extra time to do this? Do I need extra credit to pass the grades? Mm-hmm. So all this stuff runs in your mind, and by the end of the process of trying to figure things out, you're like, screw it. I can't do it. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
When in reality, if the time was given and the effort, things will work out.
Yeah.
And it's like like in the workplace, I got a job. Mm-hmm. I did it myself.
Right.
I didn't have somebody apply for me.
Right.
Apply for a job for me.
Right.
I filled it out. I did it the old school way.
Right.
Piece of paper.
We used to have to fill out applications like with paper.
Yeah, you kids today don't have to do it online.
And then you actually go into the company and hand them out and introduce yourself and say, hi, I want a job. Like
So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So then as far as after high school, so then did you fear or have anxiety about going to college or like a trade school or something because of the learning disability?
Because I knew in the college world they move much faster.
Yeah.
And they do time tests. They do basically you're the one-man show when it comes to being in college. And you have to keep up or you're going to fall off the wayside.
Right.
And I ended up unfortunately falling off the wayside because I went to Irwin Tech and I was making good grades, took computer classes, but once they give me a time test, fail every time.
Yep.
Every time, without fail. And I finally got ticked off and went to the dean and I was like, look, I'm out. I can't deal with this. I told you from the beginning. Mm-hmm. I have a learning disability. I have ADD. I have focus issues. Mm-hmm. And you give me a time test, that's an F there.
Right.
Period.
Right.
And
did you ever ask for extra credit or?
I asked, and even them, they were like, oh, well, if you can do this by this time.
Right. So the deadline really brought out that anxiety in you.
The deadlines brought anxiety out in me. And then looking around at everybody around me.
Yes.
And just kind of just sitting there waiting for me to finish my test.
Because did you feel that all eyes were on you?
Oh yeah, I felt labeled.
Yeah. I would feel like, like 60 eyes just like beaming in the back of my head.
I still feel
like waiting.
And it's like a lot of, and then the state of mind of doubt starts settling in. Completely, mentally and emotionally. And it's like, you want to succeed, you want to make good grades, you want to do something with your life, but yet everything is, okay, this is the way it is, and we're not going to specialize anything for you.
Right.
And you make it, you don't.
Right. Yep.
And
sink or swim.
Yep. And the inevitable happened, and I had to leave. I just told the teacher, I was like, I'm out. I walked out of her class, I went ballistic.
Yeah.
And lost my mind. And I left the school, never went back.
Yeah.
And I just look back on that now, it's like, it wasn't that bad. It was maybe, other people would be considered traumatic, but for me, I don't know why. A lot of things have happened in my life, but I just push it off to the wayside. Because you have to. Because if you don't, you're going to lose your mind.
You're going to lose your mind.
You're going to be institutionalized.
Yeah.
And it's like,
that can be another video.
Yes. And the
like mental health stuff.
Mm-hmm. And we can go on forever with
I
that.
know, right?
And
we're almost at 10 minutes.
But it's awesome, to go through life and learn different things and meet new people.
Yeah.
And just anybody out there that watches this video, don't give up. You know, that this thing in the world where you have to be a certain way is a bunch of nonsense.
And there are resources now that
Yep.
we didn't have or we weren't aware of that in college and in high school and stuff like that, which I have another video about. But they have resources
they have CHD groups.
They have CHD groups now in a lot of different
get-togethers. They do all kinds of things, and
I'm starting one in Tampa.
So where you can socialize and get to know people in your community that have the same issues,
yep.
and you can relate, and so you don't feel like the outsider.
Yep, exactly.
You know, and you know, a lot of people tell me, "Oh, why don't you just give up?"
Yeah.
And I look at them. I said, "Really? So I can be your age at 60, almost 70 years old, struggling because you gave up 50 years ago in your 20s?" And you're like, oh my God, I have to do something with my life. No, you take control of your life now and do what you want and do what you can and don't look back and have no regrets.
Yep.
You know, and pay attention to people that care about you.
Yes. That's great.
Because if you don't, you're gonna definitely fall off to the wayside.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of users out there. There's a lot of people that pretend to be your friend. So pay attention to people that help you and reach out to them, and they will reach out to you, and it's a two-way street.
Amen.
And you know, just live your life and continue learning new things, and take the initiative to keep on going and do what you need to do in order to stay focused, whatever
that is
for you, whether it's meditation, coffee,
being the person in the hallway, you know.
Yep.
I feel like it's more socially acceptable these days to be different. So
and I always tell people that I care about, it's okay to vent. And you know, and I'm not a judgmental person at all, because I don't care what your background is. It doesn't matter what you've been through. I'll hear you out, and you do what you can, and you live your life. That's all that is.
Yep.
You know, and it's not about who you can impress or what best college you can get into or what best job in the world you can get into. You can have the best job in the world, but if you feel miserable, what's the point?
Amen. Yep.
So,
which we can do a video on that actually. Like jobs, careers, stuff like that. So that'll be in the future.
Anxieties of interviews.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. All right, guys. Thank you for watching Anxiety and Learning Disabilities with Stephanie and Alex, and we will see you next time.
Later.